about dollars and make it hurt.
Hey, what's going on in the house? Welcome once again to the one and only. This is the one and only, the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live as we speak on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, on Twitter, and on Twitch as well. What's going on today? Another big Cowboy day. Every day is a Cowboy day, but Cowboys won't be on TV. That's for sure. Y'all got to forgive me when you invest so much into the season, like I do. Obviously, I do because I have a podcast. So there's money involved. There's it's crazy stuff. Money involved, time is spent, a lot of reading, a lot of looking at film and breaking stuff down and trying to present, I guess, if you want to say that, the best show that I can. It hurts. It definitely hurts when you can't play no more. So y'all got to forgive me. I'm still on my state of shock type of vibe, where they really have infuriated me tremendously. So you got to forgive me for still being on it. I'm going to be here a while, as much as I can, because of course it's a year long thing to do a podcast if you're going to talk about a specific team, which is what I do, even though I'm getting ready to kind of venture out a little bit into other sports and all that. I guess, speaking of which, hello to, well, not yet, but I'm getting ready to, of course, go to the NGBN TV page, network, to do something else slightly, but of course I'm gonna be doing that. So, but primarily I'm gonna be talking Cowboys and my Lakers. Since the Cowboys have moved me to the NBA now, I might as well start practicing everything. The Cowboys have moved me to golf. Getting ready to start talking. I mean, everything. Everything is wide open now. Cowboys have sent me home, but I got to talk about it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Because as usual, I heard some things from primarily Coach McCarthy's mouth himself, as he got the verification, of course, that he was going to keep his job. Of course, I don't even think it was never in question to me. I think I told you the guys that I'm not saying I didn't want that. I thought that a change should be needed or should have been done, but I understand why it was not. I get that. That's the part where I think we get, once you get emotion out of it, um, once you get emotion out of it and really think, as I told you before, a whole body of work is what has to be evaluated. Just not 1 week, not one game. When you start talking about hiring and firing coaches, you got to go from the day he got there to the present moment. And when you add all of it up, I think that his positives outweigh his negatives. That's just my opinion. Um, Once you add it all up, I think that his positives outweigh the negative. So I'm not surprised that he kept his job. But the press conference on what he said, it make me a little. It makes me kind of be scared a little bit. Let me speak to the people that are here as of now. I hope that you guys will share. Joe, what's going on? Amp, my guy in the building. And if I know you gonna be here this early, Amp, I should have had you on here too. I need some sensible people to talk. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Karam, I see you. Uh, yeah, the Lakers are. They don't know who they want to be, man. They only get intense when it's time to, and that's the part that we got a problem. Cowboys and Lakers are somewhat similar. You just made me think about that, uh, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Yeah, it ain't good. So today's title is going great to good. Let me. What's up, Joe? Let me share this because, of course, this got a lot of press, and deservingly so. Um, it did, and I want to kind of, Cowboys things when they say things are always taken completely out of context. It leaves you to imagination. If we would ask for more clarity from Coach McCarthy, I'm quite sure he would clear it up even more because some people just want to run with it, like Stephen A. did, of course. When, of course, Coach McCarthy said this. Forget the background. I ain't had time to get it all together and all that kind of stuff, but y'all see it. Coach McCarthy said we've established a championship program. It's just not a world championship yet. And of course, people like Stephen O who are looking for any type of anything, they run with it. Okay. And I'm not gonna try to put words into his mouth. I took it, interpretation is for the individual. We all could say one thing. I could have 10 people stand in front of one person, and that one person would say something. And now, what did he mean? You might get 10 different reactions. You may get 10 different ones. So it's kind of the same thing. I understood what he was saying. He was saying that we've taken steps to make sure that this program is consistent. And I know what some of you smart actors gonna say, where you consistently losing when it counts. That's fair because it's the truth. But at the same time, what is also consistent is that this man has won a whole lot of ball games, which puts you in the position to play during this time of the year. He's won 2 divisions. He's put up 12, 3 straight 12-win seasons. You can't just leave part of it out without telling the whole story, just like the people who lean towards saying, hey, you got 12 straight wins. You got 12 straight wins. You got another 12 wins after that. Well, you got to be honest and get the assessment on the other side and say, well, he ain't won in the playoffs either. So you got to give it all. And I would agree with him that he does have a point. He's won enough that they are consistent enough to be somewhat of a fact. Let me just say it like that. I'm just gonna say it like that. You have to look at the list first. When every team goes in, the first thing that's on the list is you have to win your division. Before you start talking home field, before you start talking Super Bowl, all that kind of stuff, first thing on everybody's list is you have to win the division. That's box number 1. He's done a great job at that during his tenure here. 4 years, I think 2 division championships. Not bad. If it wasn't for a miracle year from Philly last year, with winning 15 games, he would have won last year. Usually when you win 12 games, you usually win the division. You usually do that. It didn't happen that year. Philly had a great year. We ended up being a wild card team. So I think he's done well at that. But he also said in that press conference something, this is all I'm going to hang my hat on today. He said, after he said that, we're a championship program, he said that we just got to figure out how to go from being good to great. And see, that right there is where the dividing line happens in the organization. That right there, that question. How does a good team take the next level from where they're good to great? And from that, I could do about another 2 straight months of shows just based off that question. Because there's so many angles. Like if I was to ask everybody here in this chat right quick, okay, how do we go from being good to great? How do we do that? What do we have to do? Well, I guarantee you, if I ask you that, everybody gonna have a different answer. And here's the great part about it. And that's why I want the chat to be lit today. Here's the great part about it. Great part is that there are no wrong answers really, because their greatness is the common denominator. It's the angles of how to get there is where the debate really starts. There's a debate on from the front office, if you ask me. I believe that the debate starts there on how to build a team. The debate, if you're not building a team through the draft, then we're not talking free agency. And now, of course, there's a different philosophy when it comes to free agency in the building. We can go so many different ways with it. But for me, since I'm, since this is my show, I guess, I better give you what I think, and I could be wrong without a doubt. I could be totally wrong, and you could be totally right. But from everybody putting it out there, maybe we can find some type of common ground on what we feel would make this team at least start walking in the direction of greatness. Because the real truth of the matter is, to me, is that when you tell me that a team has 15 Pro Bowlers and 9 All Pros, you're not that far away. You're not. I don't think no other team has that in the league. And I mean, and it's been that way with the Cowboys. It's just growing and growing. When you have, do y'all hear me? It ain't number 22 positions, offense and defense. Okay, and then you got your special team players. I give you that. But if you got 15 Pro Bowls, 15, and 9 All Pros, 9 All Pros, 9 offense and defense, 22 positions. You got 9. You can't be that far away. Well, let's put it this way: you're leaning toward greatness than you are mediocrity. How about that? Now, some of y'all ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say here, but in order to make your team great, you first got to be truthful about your team. In order to be great, you may have to be honest and say, this right here, whatever we've been doing, it ain't working. That's the first thing. See, that's what Jerry come into play. Because Jerry is saying the exact opposite of what I'm saying. He's saying, they're great and they're good and they're this and they're that. And but what he's not saying is what we're not doing is working now. I believe Jerry's smart enough to be behind closed doors and say that, but he's not going to say that out in the public. Or what you can do from that point is judge by the actions of the person to see if they really caught that message. Because let's be honest, what we're doing, if your goal, of course, is winning the Super Bowl, then what we're doing is not working. Matter of fact, it's not even close to working. It has me, first of all, so locked in that I said, we just need to stop. Maybe that's part of the reason. And I know this is gonna mess some of y'all up, but I'm just telling you. See, we almost aiming too high. See, we saying number 6, and we want the Super Bowl, and we want that. First of all, let's learn how to win a wild card game. See what I'm saying? We got to crawl before we walk. Let's try to win 2 games in the playoffs, and see if we can conquer those mountains, which seems to be some very high mountains. Because we're not even. I mean, we're not even close. Forget the Super Bowl. So forget the Super Bowl. Learn how to win a wild card game. I got a super chat here. Let me see here. We have a great race car, but our driver sucker can't stay off the wall. Get a real coach, bro. Hey, that's part of it. Like I say, there's no wrong answers here. There's no wrong answers. Some of y'all say we need another coach. I'm not fit to argue with it. It very well could be that. James say we already won a wild card game. Got it. We have won one. 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 Excuse me, 2. That it ain't consistent. It's not consistent enough. So I guess with James, you're right. I guess you need to say we need to win a divisional round game. The Super Bowl is not. That's not. It don't make we and unfortunately for us, that's just about where we have to do it to. Everybody keep lying. If they make the NFC Championship game, that's what they got to do. Well, they'll be saying, well, you got there, but you lost the Super Bowl. So that they'll change the goalposts every time. We just need to try to win 2 playoff games in one season. Then we'll take our chance on the 3rd and maybe the 4th. We can't get past that stuff. We just can't. Now, here's the sad part about it, y'all. And I don't know if y'all thinking about it. Some of the core all pros that we have are older. For instance, Tyron Smith. You know, first of all, is he going to even be here next year? And if he is, how many games he going to play? I mean, we got the same questions every year. I mean, it's the same stuff. Zach Martin is all pro again, but getting older. He's starting to miss 2, 3 games, 4 games every year. Kyron miss at least 9 every year. See what I'm saying? Some of this stuff is a little shaky here. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that the window is closing rather fast for this specific group. They had the chance. They might have one more shot. And here's the sad part. Everybody else is getting better. You're looking at some of these teams now that's going to play today and tomorrow. They're getting better. The Packers are going to be better next year. Detroit seems to have their stuff together. They're going to be even better. The 49ers are a juggernaut. We know where they stand. Philadelphia probably is going to make somewhat of a comeback next year. I mean, we have to get better. I mean, yeah, I saw that Cowboy Nation. I don't know if that's true or not, though. I don't know if that post is true. If y'all see it in the chat line where Cowboy Nation Danny says, I'm quite sure everybody's seen the hold on a second. Y'all hold on just a second. Boss, I'm on live right now. Do I need to call you back?
Yeah, call me back when you finish, yeah.
All right. My pastor had to answer that call. I don't know if that statement is true. Cowboy Nation. But if it is, that's not a good sign. I don't know what happened to my screen here. It's all bubbly and stuff, but straighten that out. All right. So, again, everybody's saying, I see some of the stuff you're saying in the chat is just true. Can't argue with it. You're good. Now, here we go. I'm not going to take a lot of time because if I start really nitpicking, I'll be here 3 hours. I'm just going to put what I think needs to happen. And then y'all just run with me and y'all knock me off my horse if y'all feel like I'm wrong. All right. Here's what I think needs to happen. A lot of this is the same things we've been saying for the last 5-6 years. Because the questions haven't been answered or the changes haven't been made. So we're in the same position, and here it is. We got the same main 3 questions every year. Watch this, Amp. Here are the same 3 questions we've had every year, probably the last 5 to 6 years. Number 1, either questions or statements. Number 1, can Dak do it? Is Dak the guy? That's been the question for at least 5-6 years. We still stuck after the performance of the last one. Some have been converted, others have not. It's just that simple. So we still got that question mark over the head. Number 2, can we stop the run? Same question. Number 3, can we run it? Can we run the football? Same 3 questions. And these are the questions that have us with a FedEx sticker on our backside saying ship back to Dallas because they ain't playing no more. Those 3 questions are the main 3 questions. There's other questions, of course, but these are the 3 main questions that has had us sent back home. Let's tackle them 3 real quick, and I'll let you go because some of y'all want to watch the game. Or personally, I could care less about these games here. I do have a preference though for who I want to win. I would love to see Baltimore win, just in case you're wondering. I can't stand the 49ers, but it's going to be kind of hard to beat them, obviously, but I would love to see the Packers pull out the upset. That's for that too. All right. The first thing, exactly, we failing. We're in these COVID years where everybody get pushed along, but you don't carry the knowledge with you to go to the next level. In other words, you're in the 6th grade. You had 3 years of COVID. They didn't learn anything in the 6th grade. They didn't learn anything in the 7th and 8th grade. Now they're in the 9th grade on a 6th or 5th grade level. That's the first thing that we got to tackle. Here it is. Hard, but it's fair. It's perception that we're on this level. We're not on that level. Cowboys are not. We're not on championship level. We're not. And I may lose some followers because I'm saying this because we want to pretend and talk like we the 90s Cowboys. When, like I said in the other show, we're the 2000 Cowboys. Teams that fall short in big pressure games. It just didn't start with Dak. In fairness to Dak, it started Romo days, dropping the field goal attempt in Seattle. Number 1 seed, lose to the Giants. 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. 3 straight chances, just win the game and you're in the playoffs. Can't win it. Mike McCarthy, beat up the book. It is what it is. Beats up on bad teams. I think he's 13-16 since he's been here. 13-16 against teams with winning records. It is what it is. Can't deny it. We're used to the short end of the stick. We're used to the short end of the stick. In big moments, it's gotten to the point that if we win big games, we actually shock. That's the truth. The first thing you got to do is tell the truth, and then you be able to attack the issues. As long as you faking the funk and have mistaken identity, you're going to have problems, continuous problems. That's why we're in the position we're in today. Here's problem number 1 with the Dak Prescott issue. You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. But this is just what I've seen. Here it is. We got mistaken identity when it comes to Dak Prescott. You know what the mistaken identity is? Is that we look at Dak as if he is a top 3 quarterback. And we want him to play like that. When that's really not his game. That is the organization's fault. That is the offensive coordinator's fault. That's Moore and Coach McCarthy now. That is the problem. Sure, Dak Prescott had a great year this year. No doubt about it. He did. You know, in my book, I believe his numbers are better than Lamar, but Lamar won more games, played big games, and won them, and he's going to be the MVP. But it's not because Dak Prescott didn't have a big year. He did. Dak is a all-pro, well-deserved, no doubt about it. This year, had his best year. I'm not knocking Dak at all. I'm not knocking him at all. But it's mistaken identity. This is Dak Prescott's game, y'all. I've been saying it for years. Dak Prescott game is to be a not the guy. He needs to be on the totem pole, maybe the second or third on the pole. Not number one. His game not built for that. And I know what you're gonna say, Brooke. You man, big time, you crazy. Man had almost 40, over 4,000 yards and led the league in touchdowns and all that. Yeah, but we all said at the beginning of the year, Dak is best when he throws the ball under 30 times. Everybody said that. Everybody said that. We said it. Y'all know we did. Dak Prescott ain't got no business throwing the ball 40, 50 times like he Patrick Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow and all that. We don't want Dak Prescott throwing the ball 60 times. We don't want that. A real good day for Dak would be to throw the ball no more than 25 to 27 times a game. And why is that? Because, or what we should be, because you got 3 all-pros on your line. Seriously, you talking about my quarterback. Right, about my Romo, that's my quarterback. No. The same things could be applied to Dak. You got 3 all-pros on your offensive line. The Cowboys have consistently had minimum 2 all-pros on the offensive line, and Tyron and Zach. But as far as Pro Bowl goes, the Cowboys every year at least send 3 guys to the Pro Bowl every year off of the offensive line. What is the strength of the offensive line? At least the guys we have. Going forward, hitting people, moving people. Why? Because you had an Ezekiel Elliott back there at the time. And Ezekiel Elliott was your number 1 person that stirred the drink. So the ball really went through him. What are we doing? We got the same all pros there, but they go backwards in pass blocking. When all this happened? You want to know why we can't run the ball? Shoot, because we don't run the ball. We don't run it enough. We don't call plays. Then the play that you call is headed straight for destruction. The little shotgun, then run it up the middle with Tony Pollard. We ain't getting nowhere with that. Why are we doing this? Can we get my line to go forward? We need an identity change. That's what I'm heading to. Instead of mistaken identity. We try our best to make Dak Prescott the MVP of the league. Almost got away with it this year. Mike McCarthy at training camp said, we're going to be a running football team. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. I knew it was a lie right there. Ain't nowhere in the world you had a Brandon Cooks to your team and got a CeeDee Lamb out there and you going to sit here and act like you just feel just non-stop. Just run, come on now. You ain't gonna run the ball. You be a passing team first, and then look what happened. You need to be an identity change because see, we done tried that way too long. When Kellen Moore had Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, before he got hurt, and CD in the slot, and Dak was just lighting it up everywhere. But when it was time to run the football, trash. With Ezekiel Elliott, with Tony Pollard, trash. And we got the passing down. The passing game is down. We're not even worried about that. We know what Dak gonna do. Dak gonna get over 30 touchdowns every year. He gonna throw for over 40,000 yards. Gonna have a higher percentage in completions. He gonna do all that. But during this time right now, when you gotta pull your pants up, you gotta buckle it in real good. Gotta tighten up that chin strap. Because it's time to hit folks. Move people against their will. You can't shotgun your way all the way through the playoffs. Can't do that. But now, soon as that happens, we know where to be found. Mistaken identity. We ain't ran the ball well in the last 2 years. You got my linemen going backwards all the time. Everybody pass blocking. That's all we do. Pass block. Pass block. Huh? It's an attitude adjustment that need to be made. Then you got to ask the question. See, a lot of y'all blame the defense for last week, which is the case. I agree. The defense was horrible. I think they gave up 6 touchdowns out of 7 drives. I agree. I agree the defense was too. But here's the part nobody's saying, and it's just the truth. All right, let's go down the list. 7-0 Green Bay. 14-0 Green Bay. 21-0 Green Bay. 27-0 Green Bay. This is just the first half. Then it was 27-7. Here's my question. And y'all ain't gonna like this. Here's my question. Yes, the defense was horrible. We know that. But when you got an all-pro quarterback, Dak Prescott, you got a first-team all-pro wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb. You got 3 all-pros on your line. Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Zach Martin. I think I just named 6 all-pros just on the offensive side of the ball. My question is this. Can't you just stop the bleeding? There's too many good players on the offensive side of the ball. 7-0. Offense didn't do nothing. Okay. I give you that. 14-0. Offense still ain't answered. Third drive, 21-0. Can you? So you stopped the bleeding when it was 27-0? See, they had nothing to do with the defense. And in the process, you throw 2 interceptions. 1 for a pick 6, 1 an early interception. And for some reason, when the Cowboys have plays like that, it takes them a whole game to get their head out of their tail because they're too depressed. And why does every playoff game, well, at least I'll just stick with the last 3. 2 against the 49ers. Well, let's stay with the last 4. 2 against the 49ers, 2 against the Packers. The last 2. 1 in San Francisco, 1 in Dallas. Both games in Dallas for the Packers. Why does every game look like the same game? Why? Why do we have to get off to such slow starts? It happens every playoff game. See, this is the pause we got to learn. Everybody talking about the defense. Please tell me. Let me go through again. Dak All-Pro, CD All-Pro, Tyron, Tyler, Zach Martin. Okay, that's 5. 5 All-Pros. You can't stop the bleeding? Can you make it 14-7? Can you make it 21-14? I'm at a loss there. I'm lost. Why every game? Okay, The Green Bay Packer game where Aaron Rodgers won. The Green Bay Packers in the first half, I believe, it was 31 points to 31 to 7 or something in the first half. Can anybody stop the bleeding? This offense that can score at will. This offense that can score at will, it seems like, all of a sudden look like a preseason offense. Yes, scheme probably has something to do with it because you want to throw short and all that kind of stuff, which led to the interception by Dak and jumped the route, knew all that kind of stuff. I get it. All that can be factored in too. But these playoff games is looking too similar. The only playoff game that didn't look like that was when we went ahead and beat up Tampa Bay last year. Other than that game, all of the games look like that. '49er games were close, of course, but we couldn't make the play when we needed it. I'm just saying, this is the type of stuff that I don't know where you can put your finger on and say this has to change. I don't know, but this is what has to change. Slow starts. Let's just chalk it up as slow starts. I don't know what it is. That has to be fixed quickly. Y'all can figure out how that's gonna happen, whatever. All I'm saying, the bottom line is slow starts. It gets us killed. We can't win. All the yards that get out of there is empty calorie yards. Mike said, what about the Russell Wilson game? Well, I'll give you that. We won that game. We barely won that game, I may add, but we won it. I ain't even counting it. I'm talking about these losses that get us sent home. I ain't talking about the wins. I'm not even talking about that. Especially the games where we're supposed to win. See, we supposed to be talking about, to be honest with y'all, if we line up and played the Packers 10 times, I believe we'll win probably 8 out of the 10. I'm supposed to be talking about the game either today or tomorrow for the Cowboys playing. Not the embarrassment that we saw last week. No. So it was a team loss, but nobody wants to talk about this offense stopping the bleeding. I don't care how it came, whether it was Tony Pollard busting the long run and scoring. It's just nowhere in the world that in a playoff game on that with the stakes that high. Good Lord of mercy. You can't go let somebody score 4 straight touchdowns on you don't answer one. Barely move the ball at all. That's that, and y'all the number one offense in the game, the number one offense in the league. No, I'm calling see, like I told you, you may not like it, but you got to be truthful. That's what I'm gonna be. You can't act like that question should have been answered, and it ain't because Green Bay got the 1985 Chicago Bear defense. That's not it. So I understand if it was San Francisco defense, they're good. Green Bay ain't that great. Green Bay not that great. They're not. I don't see it. I don't see it. Number 2. I don't want to take up too much more time. Let's deal with this another 8-year problem. Can we stop the run? Good Lord. How many times, how many years have we been asking this question? Player after player been drafted. I mean, maybe a philosophy change has to happen.
because their philosophy about stopping the run is not working. So the players they're brought in, that's not the players. That's the type of defensive tackles. The type of defensive tackles, because we usually get gashed up the middle. Those are not the type of guys. I mean, how many years do we got to keep looking at the same body style guys and get ate up the same way? I don't get it. I know a lot of people pointing to Dan Quinn having 6 DBs out there, and you ain't got no big guys there. Of course they're gonna run. Okay, that is true. I give you that. But see, the reason why it goes to kind of like what Robert just said. If y'all see it in chat, matter of fact, let me go and put that up here so people can see. It just ain't me. So Robert just said they thought we were gonna walk over these guys, and old Green Bay got surprised. I don't know how Dan Quinn figured that 6 DBs supposed to stop a running football team. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But he sure did pay the price for that. Now, here's the thing. It's wrong. It's wrong to think that this style is working. Can we change the definition of a defensive tackle, please, for this team? See, they want the quick guys, the twitchy type guys. Yeah, that works sometimes. But what happens when these big heavy type dudes, put their hand on these little small guys, push them out the way and all that kind of stuff? That's what happened. So that system don't work. You don't need the twitchy, shifty type guys. You need some men that got some meat on their bone. Some guys that are going to take at least 2 men to move out the way. Stop it. Mozzie Smith was 330 some odd pounds when he got there. The man now at the last playoff game was weighing 307. Now, I don't know if because the boy stopped eating. I don't know if they told him to stop working if they say he need to play lighter. But whoever told him, or whether he did it on his own, it was the wrong move. Get pushed out of the way. Freight train didn't say the main 295 now. OC, matter of fact, we praised OC. OC probably from week 1 all the way to week 12 maybe. We heard nothing from OC in a while. See, the wear and tear of season got on him now. Big boys moved him out the way because he's really not that type of defensive tackle. Gallimore, he big, but he was getting pushed away anyway. See what I'm saying? Big Hankins is the only one that seemed to kind of hold his ground, but he's not a playmaking defensive tackle. And everybody don't need to be. But if that's all you got to offer, D-Law, of course, is outstanding against the run. But he's on the edge. Michael Parsons is too small when people start coming at him. He's too small. That's just the truth. They coming with 2 men to block him, they going to get him. If they're running the ball, he's too small. See, that stuff only works when we were blowing people out. The 6 DBs works when we're blowing people out, where they got kind of like the game from last week, except that's what we did to a whole lot of people this season. But when it happened to us, we still think that the nickel defense worked. It's crazy. So now, let me get to the thing. I'm finna come to my solution, and then I'll let you go. Let's go to the other side. Can we run the ball? Well, first thing first, you got to call running plays in order to find out if you can run the football. Huh? You gotta call the plays first. Then if it ain't working, tell me you can't run it. But you can't tell me you can't run it. And then I look at the score. I mean, I look at the box stat, and Tony Pollard only got 10 carries, maybe 10. And Rico only got 4 or 5. You ain't tried to run the ball. So how you know it don't work? Then the mistaken identity part is we had a mistaken identity thinking that Tony Pollard was a horse. When he not. He's a complimentary running back. We've been saying that. We've said it at the beginning of the year. This is not what Tony Pollard is. We've been saying that. And of course, the Cowboys go different. It's just that simple. So Pollard probably gonna be gone, and he need to be. And then Rico is there, but Rico is injury prone, like he always has been. So you can't depend on that. Deuce Vaughn is way too small. Don't even think about him. You won't get him. Since Hunter Lemke fumbled the ball on the end zone, at the end zone there, he ain't got a carry since then. See what I'm saying? So we don't have a running game. You ain't got no running back except Pollard. Pollard did get us over 1,000 yards. I give him credit for that. It shocked me to hear him say. I mean, to look at the stats and say he got over 1,000 yards this year. But he did. But that's not going to get it. You need a true running back that defenses are going to commit 8 to the box because they're scared of him. They don't want him to take over a game. And when you do that, this is what opened up the game for real for Dak Prescott. You think Dak Prescott had a great year this year? If you give him a true running back that can produce, I may add, if you do that, then you can go ahead and see a real great year from Dak Prescott. But you got to give him, he needs. Now, I'll get to that in a second. So we ain't got no running back. So here's my solution. And then I'm done. Because I say it again. The Dallas Cowboy way of doing things, we done had enough sample size, at least with this group. It does not work. Might get you a division, yes. It might get you a wild card victory. It might. But after that, I don't know. See, you got to be physical during this time. We're not physical. We still play too finesse. We're too finesse. We want to pass our way through. You got to get nasty during this time. That's what you're looking at right now on the TV. This already turned out to be one of them slugfest, nasty games between Houston and Baltimore. It's nasty. It's hitting going on. It's men trying to move men. Ain't a whole lot of passing going on. Everybody just running the ball, trying to run it. Hammer against hammer. This is what it takes. The word physical and Dallas Cowboys just don't match. This is my eye test saying. Y'all may say differently, but this is what I'd say. I don't see it. I don't see the physicalness. I don't see the attitude that go along with being physical. I don't see it. And I don't know if it. And I don't know if it's with Coach McCarthy back. I don't know if it'll be implemented, which will lead to what I said yesterday on my little video that I put out. Here's the solution. Number one, we had better get a running back. That's number one. I ain't talking about these. I'm not talking about these guys who are committed type running backs. I ain't talking about that. I see that's what Stephen Jones coming to play. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about a horse. A possible 3-down running back. Possible. And there's some good ones that's out there. Free agency. I'll come back to that in a second. Number 2, can we stop the run? Yes. If you got the right players, you can. Which leads, of course, to free agents. Then number, I've already said it. Can Dak be Dak? Yes. Can Dak get it done? Yes. Talented guy. Very good quarterback. Can he get it done? Yes. But it got to be a certain way. And Dak is the type of quarterback, I'm convinced. In order for him to be the best that he can be, you have to surround him with a whole lot of weapons. Yes. And I'm talking about home run hitters. I ain't talking about guys that hit singles. No. In order to get Dak where he needs the weapons, he needs it. So what am I saying? Here we go. What my wish list? I applaud Brandon Cooks. Pretty solid, decent year, especially when Dak started really going to him. He did real good. But see, I want the model that the Philadelphia Eagles have. I want a 1 capital A, and then I need on the other side a 1 lowercase a. They both 1 A's. Brandon Cooks is okay. I need a free agent wide receiver or somebody from the draft, but he's a dog. That's what I need. I need 2. See, as long as you can roll in 1, I need something like Miami. I need a Jalen Waddle and I need a Tyreek Hill. There's some wide receivers out there that can give me that. Because if I'm just rolling the coverage to CeeDee Lamb, okay, Brandon Cooks, the way he gonna beat you is unless he run past you. Other than that, he gonna catch the ball and fall straight down to the ground. You saw that. No. I need a guy like a Jalen Waddle on the opposite side of like a Tyreek Hill or CeeDee Lamb that can punish you. That's what I need. I want Dak to have the biggest weapons he can have because that's ultimately going to make him better. I could care less about Jake Ferguson being wide open in the middle. Jake Ferguson can hurt you, no doubt, in moving the chain, but I'm talking about hitting your head on the goalpost now. That's what I want. That's me. I want that. Number 2, wish list. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs are free agents. All 3. One of them got to be in Dallas. And I know some of them will Saquon stay hurt. I don't care. When Saquon is in the game, he will demand 8 in a box. Josh Jacobs from the Raiders, who just led the league in last year in yards, he will demand 8 in a box. You must respect him. I ain't got to say nothing about Derrick Henry. You automatically know Derrick Henry might require 9 in the box. But that make Dak Prescott better? There ain't no question about it. Because if you put 8, 9 guys up on the line, you're leaving CD one-on-one. You're leaving even Brandon Cooks one-on-one, since if he's there. If you do that, this is what you're doing. You're leaving Jake one-on-one. I'm trying to tell you, this is what will make Dak Prescott better. Because his guys will beat guys. You give me Derrick Henry, give me Josh Jacobs. I don't care if it's Barkley. Because Barkley has another totally different element. If you worry about Barkley running, you definitely gonna worry about him coming out the backfield passing, being a pass receiver. You gonna get that too. I don't. It's an easy fix. You want to run the ball? Get the players that can run the ball. Now my offensive line gonna go forward, but you got to give Derrick Henry the ball. It's just automatic. and it takes away the MVP thirst to make Dak the man. You get a Derrick Henry back there, you must give him the ball. Josh Jacobs, you must give him the ball. Saquon, you must give him the ball. Anything else other than that is just guys, we're gonna run a committee, guys. Here we gonna, we gonna need two running backs, so we're gonna get two of the same. You just tried that, so see, this is the honest part. You just tried it, so you don't try it no more. Not like that. See, a lot of. Oh, I already know. I said my wish list, my wish list to leave. I already know how Stephen Jones is. He gonna do exactly what I just said. Gonna go get two or three bargain guys as your running back committee and gonna try to roll like that. I mean, I already know that. I know how Stephen Jones is. If you're talking about going from good to great, though, these are the things that you're gonna have to do. That's what the title of this podcast is today. To going from good to great, guess what? Give me some great players. In other words, this is what I'm saying. We tried it their way. The draft way. Draft and develop. Hopefully in the first 2 years, somebody will make a Pro Bowl. Maybe if they're really good, they might even be an All-Pro. That's their way. While other teams, on the other hand, has been proven to stack the deck. And guess what happened when they do that? They raise the trophy at the end. And then some of you will say, well, we can do that, but, what about the future? What about guess what? This team, this set of Cowboys, the window has closed. You ain't got too many more years. If you're talking about winning the Super Bowl, you got to strike now. I thought Jerry said he wanted to win the Super Bowl. He'll do anything to do it. Well, this is the one thing you haven't done in a while. Try to stack the deck. You want to go from being good to great, like they said in the press conference, like Coach McCarthy said? Well, then you got to do the things that will make you great. Doing it the Will McClay, Stephen Jones way, it only got you so far. That only got you that's only gonna get you so far. When pressure games come and pressure time come, give me the pressure players that have been there before, so you don't have these no-shows and the playoff games, these slow starts. Give me the players that been there, know what to do. See a Derrick Henry, for instance, his game travels, whether it's the preseason game, regular season game, playoff game. Give him the ball, he gonna run it. Problem solved, right there. I'm just saying. You want to go from good to great? That's what Coach McCarthy said. You got to figure out how to go from good, being real good, to go to great. Well, guess what? Sometimes the answer is just in players. It's not in the draft, because half of your draft picks ain't going to play anyway. We do well in the draft almost every year. Those guys are limited to just special teams. Give me a break. Stop it. I need some impact guys right from the beginning. You want to stop the run? Go get me. I don't know who the free agents are, defensive tackles. Go get them. I know one that's going to be a free agent, but I know we ain't going to pay him. Since we talking about it, Chris Jones from Kansas City. Well, we all know that ain't going to happen, but guess what? That would solve problems. And I understand the cap is there. I understand we got to pay Dak and they can manipulate all that and possibly CD, and I understand all that. I get it. And I know there's only so much money going around. But isn't it amazing that all the other teams keep signing all these guys and they find a way to get it under the cap? What are they doing that we ain't doing? What class did they take that they figure how to manipulate the salary cap and get all these guys in, and we be just worried about signing one person? What are they doing? You want to go from good to great? You got to do something that you ain't never done before, or at least you ain't done it in a while. Stack the deck. If Tyron comes back, chances are, when he plays, he's going to play at an all-pro level, but that's only when he plays. When he plays. It might be only 9 games. When he plays. It's definitely, if he come back next year, I mean, it's got to be his last year. See what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. You got to do something. You see what I'm saying? We talk the game. We want to win. But you got to do what you're supposed to do to make sure that you got a chance to win. The way, hey, we all shouted 12-5. We got hype out there every win. Hey, they had a good year. I'm not taking it from them. I'm just saying there are levels to this thing, and we ain't on the level. I saw Tampa go all in 1 year because they knew they didn't have a wonder left. You got Brady, you got Gronk, you still had Mike Evans, you still had, they just signed a player, Leonard Fournette. They just signing everybody. Everybody coming. What happened at the end? The banner is up there in the stadium now. They won it. They won it. So you can't say it don't work. I saw the Rams the year before that go all in. Go get Matthew Stafford. Go get all these type of guys. And what happened? What happened? They got a banner up there in the stadium now. They won it. They went all in, and they won it. They won it. They say we putting all our chips at the table, right, for this 1 year, and we gonna go at it. You can't say it don't work. They won. Cowboys talking about we like our guys. We like our guys. We like our guys. We love to draft and develop. We want to draft and develop, and we can be a consistent juggernaut for years and years to come. And we just like our guys. Bobby Wagner, wide open linebacker. Well, we just bring him in. You brought him in, but you ain't offer him a contract. How crazy is that? Huh? All of them, look. We don't want Bobby Wagner. What we're going to do, we're going to have a game plan in place where we're going to let go of Cox. We're going to let go of Harper. We're going to let go of Malik Jefferson. And, of course, LVE gets hurt. Okay, what's y'all game plan? Because y'all ain't got no linebackers on the roster at all. Well, we're going to try something innovative and different. We're going to have safeties as linebackers. And we're going to try to go up on people by 20. And by then, that would take away the running game. The scoreboard would take it, the running game away of the opposing team. And then we could put 6 defensive backs on it, and we can blitz, and then our guys will cover. Yeah, but what happened, Mr. Quinn, when a game is closing, team can still run the ball? Well, I don't know. We'll just have to see. Well, guess what? We know you get blowed out. That's what happened. That's what happened. When the running game ain't taken away. Because the offense can't put up 30 in the first half. Now you got to play real football. And because you ain't got no linebackers, you got safeties up there as a linebacker. What kind of sense they make? What sense that make? So your way don't work. Will McClay, God bless you, sir. Applaud you. Glad you stayed with us. Glad you didn't leave. Excellent at what he does. And he's just getting the players that the coaches want, knows the system, try to find the player that fits the way the coaches like to play. Something got to change. It ain't gonna work. We need linebackers, obviously. We don't have one on the field. Overshown will be back, but even Overshown is undersized. Terry, I got a super chat. He says, don't pay Prescott. This is a young quarterback league. Look at the quarterback lefts in the playoffs. But you have to sign Prescott because his cap number is $59 million next year. You got to restructure his deal. We ain't got no choice. That's the main thing. So that's the problem. You know, he ain't leaving. He ain't a free agent. He's still under contract for next year. So he got to play. But if he plays, his cap hit is $59 million. That has to change immediately. Which is why he's going to get paid, because he got to have an extension. He does. You got to have it. So that part ain't going to work. Terry. He has to get paid. He got him. He got him by, he's in full control. Dak is. Dak is in full control. Cowboys do not want to go in the next season with a quarterback that's over $59 million on the cap. Just, you ain't got no room to wiggle. We're already under the cap now. Over the cap right now. Going into next year. It has to be done. So he gonna get paid. And paid well. So he's gonna be he's gonna be with us for the next 4-5 years as our quarterback. We might as well just get that out of our head. It's got to happen. It is what it is. But you're gonna have to do something while you trying to figure out that contract. Make sure that you give him enough money up front so he don't count for probably no more than $2 million or $1 million on the cap next year, so you can go ahead and get some real dogs in here. See this guy that I saw Freight Train come. I watched a little bit of tape on him. I like him, but the problem is, it's college. Freight Train said Xavier legit. I've seen him. 6'3", 227 and run a 4.3 from wide receiver position. The numbers say that he's dominant, or he has the ability to be dominant. Maybe y'all need to go look at him. Xavier Legette. Go watch him if y'all want to see him. See, that's how you can get away with what I'm talking about, by drafting. But if you're gonna draft, find me somebody like that to go along CD. That if they want a double CD, this guy here will kill you. I ain't talking about it. He's a good possession receiver. He can move the chains, which is right. I need somebody just as dominant or right close to it as CD Lamb. We've seen it before. You had Amari Cooper. You had Michael Gallup before he got hurt. Then you had CD Lamb. And the talk was Dallas may have 3 wide receivers that very well may have over 1,000 yards apiece. That's the kind of threat I need again. But I want to run the ball. With 1,000, with a 12 to 1,300 yard running back. See, the things are there, but we know how Stephen Jones is, which leads to him. Stephen gonna have to get off of it. Now that it probably ain't gonna happen, because we know he is what he is. It probably ain't gonna happen. But that's what in order to be great, you got to change up your philosophy. I don't know if they're gonna do it or not. Matter of fact, I got a feeling. I know they're not gonna do it. because they're stuck in their ways. They want it done their way, and their way, and is limited. You want to catch up to the 49ers real quick. You want to catch up to, whoever else that you think is good. Detroit is good. Detroit is going to be a while for a minute, in my view. Green Bay is only going to get better. You go to the AFC side. You want to look at Baltimore, how they are right now. They're only going to get better. You want to look at Buffalo, who has a real threat. Kansas City is still there. You want to catch up to these guys? This is what you do. You go all in. Go all in. The window is closing. Tyron Smith is going to hang up the cleats. Zach Martin getting a little long in the tooth. We got to start all over again as far as offensive line. Maybe not start over again. You just going to have people like TJ Bass and Hoffman come in to replace those guys. They're not on their level, but they're good. But are they going to be Hall of Fame good like those guys were? Guess what? We getting ready to find out in a couple of years. We're getting ready to find out. Getting ready to find out. No, I hope not, Shane. We ain't gonna speak that, but he just said with all this drama in all season, it wouldn't surprise me if they pay Dak and he ends up with an injury next season. That's the reason why we need to keep Cooper Rush or get Trey Lance ready. Both of them are getting ready. Cooper Rush knows the offense just as well as Dak does. Trey Lance is still learning. But I hope it's not an injury, but it's football, so it happens. It's football, it happens. You want to get good, if you want to be good, keep doing what you're doing. It will get you 10 to 12 wins. Possibly going to get you in the playoffs. You'll be on the road, probably in the wild card round. Okay, you know, take your chances. But if you want to get great, you need to add greatness to the team. You ain't gonna find that out in the draft now. It's not gonna happen like that. It's not gonna happen unless you get somebody like the kid that we're seeing now on TV, and that's a CJ Stroud type guy. But how many guys like that are in other positions? They ain't in the quarterback position. I mean, the only place maybe where you can get that where a guy can make an immediate impact is from the running back position. That's it. Where wide receivers well. You can get it from, I'm saying there's a lot of places where you can get it. But those are really the usual spots that it really show up real quick. Linemen can be there as well. But you got to do something different than saying we're gonna draft and develop and hope our second round pick turns into a starter because he's drafted in the second round and all that. And the other thing is, if the guys are better, put them in the game. Like all our guys that we draft lately have been guys that end up being on the special teams. Guys that, are on the practice squad. Because the real truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, once you look at the Cowboys offense and defense, the starters, it ain't really too many spots open. The starters are set. In a perfect world, other than the center position, the offensive line is already set. That's set. Other than the center, the quarterback is set. The wide receivers, I think we're gonna let Michael Gallup go. So there's room for number two. Well, I didn't say number 2 or number 3. We still waiting on Jalen Tolbert all the way. They won't give him the shot. Brandon Cooks, I don't know if he gonna be, I don't know. But we can get better there. See what I'm saying? It's stuff that's already kind of set. Defensively, D-Law, will we let him walk? I'm gonna be honest with you, Shane. I see your question. Give me Henry or Josh Jacobs. Barkley still just a little bit too hurt for me. But I do know, I fully understand when he's on the field, he's an impact guy. Trust me, Barkley would be would upgrade the team automatically. So when he signed his name on the contract, Cowboys would be upgraded, whether he stay hurt or not. Barkley would be a problem with this offense. So I ain't gonna knock it at all. But Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs will also. I mean, you really got these are ways you can upgrade immediately. Your team becomes a even bigger threat just by these guys signing their name on the paper. I mean, on the contract. It really is. D-Law, I don't know if he gonna be back next year. So, but if he is back, we good there. Defensive tackles, we need help. Another edge, Michael Parsons, just not big enough. He's just not big enough to be effective in the run game like that. He's not. The linebackers, we all know we need linebackers. We start from ground zero, as far as I'm concerned. We start from ground zero. So we need about 3. That's where they're gonna try to get it in the draft. You already know that. They might want to get one veteran, but the rest of them coming from the draft. Secondary, oh my goodness. Secondary look real good. If Gilmore comes back, of course, Diggs will be back. And then, of course, Bland will be back. So the idea is to have 2 first-team All-Pros, Diggs and Bland out there. Gilmore, depending on the package, Gilmore will jump to the outside and Bland can jump inside. See what I'm saying? Bland can jump inside because that's where he made his money, last year before jumping outside. He was awesome in the slot because I don't think we're going to sign Jordan Lewis back. Well, I don't know about that one. Jordan may come back. So the secondary is going to be good. Curse, I think Curse won't be back. But see, the fix there is to put Bell back where he belongs, which is safety. And your answer is right there. Donovan Wilson will be back. Hooker will be back. The secondary is lit. I ain't worried about them at all. We just got to get front 7 right. Linebackers, defensive tackles, if you ask me. You can never have enough pass rushers, so you can throw some of that in if you want. I'm just saying, and I understand the draft is there. Some of y'all can get real hype about the draft. I'm cool with it. But that's not the only way you help a football team. And I ain't talking about free agents like Steven does, where he waits to day 5 and go get these crackerjack free agents. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about day 1, day 2, signing folks. In other words, sign some names. Don't wait to day 6 and you get guys that just came off somebody's practice squad. You're talking about, we just signed this guy, a guy who will never see the field. That's what Stephen Jones does. That's what he's done for the last 5-6 years continuously. Go ahead and get these crackerjack Toys R Us free agents. or he'll go get a name, but the dude is well past his prime, who used to have a name. Now you go get him, counting somebody like Anthony Barr. You got him 3 years too late. See what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff we do. All that got to change. If you talk about being great. If you're talking about being great, that mediocre flea market free agent stuff that he like to do, that ain't gonna work, man. This bargain shopping. No. We done tried that. That ain't gonna, that's not gonna get it done. We tried all that. We tried that. I don't know how many more times you got to try it before you finally figure out. We need to do something different. I don't get it. I don't get it. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I done seen this movie too many years. It's the same movie from the start of off season to the end of the year. It's the same movie. Let's go through it. Tell me I'm lying. All right, start. Get the excitement up, all that kind of stuff. It's Cowboys. We've been without football so long. We're just glad to have it. We'll come out and say, I'm really impressed by the roster. Jerry will be in Oxnard, California with Steven and Coach McCarty sitting at the table. We really feel like we got a real shot this year. All right, there we go with that. Preseason. None of the starters will play. They don't want to take a chance of injury. They'll just get better in practice and say, hey, we're playing our number one defense. And the offense is playing, they're playing the number one offense. That's better than preseason. We're going to hear that again. All right. First 4 games, Cowboys probably go 3-1, 2-2. Same movie every year. The next 4 to 5 or 6 games, Dak Prescott will lose his mind where he goes completely off. He does it every year. He has this hot spurt for about 4 or 5, 6 games. He'll be in the MVP conversation. They'll say he's playing like a top 5 quarterback. Before you know it, he have about 20 touchdowns and 1 or 2 interceptions. The Cowboys will run off maybe 5, 6, 7 straight games. This happens every year. Then all of a sudden in November, the Cowboys may go somewhere around 3-1, which is good. Because you got to keep in mind, they got to get to 12 games and win. So it ain't going to be too many lull spots. Oh, before November get here, we will lose a game that everybody's supposed to think we're going to win. Arizona game, for instance. It just happens every year. We're going to go crazy. Well, you look up, we'll be about 8-2. Get to Thanksgiving, we're looking pretty good. December comes around, we might lose maybe 1 or 2 games in there, but that's okay because we'll win 2 more. That'll make us about 10-4. Then we win maybe one or 2. 11-12 win thing. Division championship, maybe not. But definitely a wild card spot for sure because we won't have home field advantage. We'll get in the playoffs, and then we cross our fingers and hope that the team that we saw all season shows up. That's the Cowboys season. Last 3 to 4 years. That's our season. Same movie. Only thing gonna change that ain't the coaching, because the coaching, Mike McCarty got secure. Jerry secured him. You ain't got to change nothing. You had the number 1 offense in the league. You had Dak playing like an MVP. You don't have to change anything. We would like to run the ball a little bit more. If you could just incorporate that, we'll be fine. Thanks for coming. All right. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Mike McCarthy ain't gonna change absolutely nothing. Mike McCarthy gonna say, man, look. Mike gonna say, man, oh my God. Y'all think that last year was something. That was just his first year. That was just his first year in the offense. What you think gonna be in the next year? I'm just saying. All right, I'm done. You want greatness? Gotta give me some great players. All right, phone line open. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just said. Well, okay, you saying they can't make the playoffs if we remain the same. That's why I say you got to change the whole philosophy. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Shane, but if they stay the same, we've seen the movie before. I'll just say that. Hey, Robert, I try to go twice a week, but I'm gonna go 3 now. Since Robert, this your first time seeing me? Is this your first time, Mr. Robert King? Is this your first time? Well, since you haven't seen me, I'll catch you up real quick. I just signed the contract last week to be on the NGBN TV network. The show is, you getting in at the right time. The show is about to go national. I'll be seeing on Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and then of course right here, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere else. I'll be there, getting in at the right time. So I usually go twice, but because of that, I'm gonna try to go 3. One of those will be pre-recorded though. Won't be like this, but the other 2 times will be live, like this. So once you follow me, I hope you're following me now, Robert. Follow the show, and then turn on the live notifications. It should pop up on your phone. But this will be one of my first show on the network. Will be on the 29th. I'm leading. The show hasn't launched yet. I mean, the station has not launched yet. So the 29th will be the first show, and I will be the very first show that will be going on there. And on that note, let me go ahead and let you see what the network is all about. So y'all pause for the calls real quick, and I'll come right back. This is what I'm getting ready to walk into.
Not wait any longer. Men are in need of community, brotherhood, and a place to call home. The time is now, and that place is NGBN TV. Powered by men just like you, dedicated to launching a one-of-a-kind streaming TV network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Our goal is to inspire, entertain, celebrate, educate, and support men. The NGBN TV sneak peek is launching January 29th. We need you on this journey with us. Ad rates at NGBN TV will never be this low again. So join our movement on ngbn.tv and contact us today. NGBN TV, a network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, coming January 29th.
So I'm excited. The 29th, the big time show will be the very first show seen on that network. To be that Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. So you, wherever you're watching right now, you'll be able to see it. It'll be fine. But I will hope that some of you will download on your smart TVs and on your cell phones. The NGBN TV station that you can see is right there in the corner there. If you're looking for it, it'll be that logo there, NGBN.TV. Just download that. That would help the station out even if you just download it. We're looking for 10,000 downloads in one day. So I think I'm on the show, and then I got another person that's coming right after me. And that'll be the first 2 shows for that one day. We're hoping that we can get 10,000 downloads just off 2 shows. The reach, we have an opportunity to reach 3.3 million people. It's huge. So I'm excited about this. I'm getting ready to prepare for that. The show will be a little bit different than it is now because, number one, I got about an hour and 30 minutes, which is long enough, but I got commercials to put in, and like you just saw there, I got commercials to put in and everything else. So get ready for that. I'm excited about it. All right, phone line is open. I got a little time. 901-654-6853. 901-654-6853. You can call in now. If not, I'll let you guys go and let y'all enjoy this very tight playoff game that we're watching right now. Lamar, as quiet as it is kept, Lamar Jackson is 1-3 in the playoffs for his career. I'm just saying, you know, he ain't won too much either. But you don't hear about that, though. You don't hear about that, though. Okay. All right. 901-654-6853. Call in line is open. If not, I'm going to let y'all good people go. I appreciate y'all hanging with me on today. Oh, excuse me. He 1-4, Johnny Wood say. Okay, I'm sorry. He's 1-4. You know how it is when they talk about Dak like that. Y'all know that. Y'all know how that go. All right, got a phone call coming. Let's see here.
Robert King.
Mr. King.
To accept, press 1.
Ain't that something? Mr. King, just his first time seeing me. Now y'all already on the line. What's up, Mr. King?
Hey, how you doing, big time, man? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm trying, man. I'm so glad you were part of the family now.
Yeah. I was just watching the game, and then I looked on my phone, and I seen you was live. I said, oh, I never seen him before.
Yeah.
Let me listen to the show, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the show. I like the content, man.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for not, I guess I thank you for not scrolling again. Come on, hang with me.
Yes, sir, I will, and I'm gonna download NGBN.
Thank you, man.
And that way I can watch you, man, and try to follow you and subscribe to you, man.
Appreciate you, man. I thank you. You didn't have to, but I appreciate you.
Okay.
What's going on?
Hey, man, what you think about? Like, I heard you talking about the offensive line and stuff. I think it's really time for Tyron Smith to retire. He good. I like him. He long in the tooth. But it's time for him to step aside and let's put Tyler Smith at left tackle. Since we acquired Lael Collins, put him at the left guard. Go get us a couple of linebackers, man, and a nice D tackle, nice running back, and I think we'll be all right.
I think you're absolutely right. And we've been saying, just depend on what you feel about it, but we've been saying that, Tyron Smith's supposed to retired at least 2 years ago. His body just too hurt. But in fairness to him, when he does play, he's still Tyron Smith. And that's what messing the Cowboys up. For some reason they keep thinking he's gonna be, the Tyron Smith and give you about 10, 11 games. Well, the problem is he when he gets hurt, he be hurt for weeks on top of weeks on top of weeks. And I just don't think you can depend on him that way. I just don't.
Right.
So,
Right.
but a lot of stuff that you're talking about, as far as acquiring linebackers and stuff, they just got to change their philosophy up, man. Just go and spend some money, like everybody else, until they do that, I don't, I think they just gonna be dependent on the draft like they always do, and that ain't gonna get nothing done. We done seen that movie too many times, so that's just my thoughts.
How many of our draft picks this year really stepped up and was good at what they do? The draft picks we had this year.
Nobody, because everybody was either hurt or like Overshown was hurt for the year, or Mozzie. Just depending on what you feel about Mozzie. Mozzie has never been a playmaking defensive tackle. Mozzie is a plugger, plug up holes and all that kind of stuff. That's what he does. But, I don't know if he did that all the way through. The other guys, most of them was on the practice squad. So, it's kind of hard to get on the field when your starting lineups are pretty much already set. You know what I'm saying? They're already set.
Yeah.
Your offensive line was set. The receivers were set. Your defensive line rotation, your defense, linebackers were the only one, but the decision was made to have secondary people play linebacker. So, there wasn't a lot of room for rookies to even get in to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Like I said, they've done everything except doing what I'm suggesting. And, and that is do like everybody else do. Stack the deck and try to win that way. They tried to draft and development way. That ain't got us where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? You got to go ahead and try to do something different. That's the way I feel about it. Now, I appreciate you, Robert.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
All right, thank you, man. Like I said, I enjoyed the show.
I
yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too. I got a call in from North Carolina. I'm about to call you right back, whoever that was that called me from Carolina. The Tar Heel State. Let's see what this is.
Hello?
Hey, big time show. Who is this?
Hey, this is Michael. Michael Evans.
Hey, Mike. What's up, Mike?
Trying to get through this week after the Cowboys game like everybody else. That was a brutal loss. Pretty much blame all the way across the board.
Yes, sir.
But I did want to, touch up on a couple of things that you said that I totally agree with. That they need a radical change in philosophy.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much on both sides of the ball. I mean, this team is really built. I mean, they have the players in place to play a run the football, ball control style of offense. I mean, you think they got 3 All-Pros on the offensive line. They have the quarterback. No matter what anybody says, no matter what the paid actors and performers at the 3 or 4 letter network say, that I believe Dak Prescott can take this team to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
It's just that simple. He should win the MVP no matter regardless of what happened in that playoff. Like his numbers are better than Lamar's, so I believe he should be the MVP. But I really wasn't surprised at what happened in that game. The minute Sam Williams had that penalty, when he interfered with that fair catch, I knew we were in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing I think, you said it right, they have to go. They need a 3-down running back. I mean, and the 3 guys that you mentioned, I totally agree with. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, or Saquon Barkley. That would put fear in a defense. It would force them to play the Cowboys honest.
Yep.
Because Green Bay didn't suspect the run. They said you can't run the football. We don't care about your running game. That's why they played the coverage the way they did. Mm-hmm. They dropped everybody in coverage.
They dropped 7 people.
And those 2 interceptions I don't even care about because that's that trying to make a play. After they always down 21-0. So that's just a product them trying to make a comeback. So I don't care about that. Defensively, Yeah, they got to get linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll try to get them in the draft.
Yeah.
And they still need that. They still need that nasty, big, fat, nasty guy in the middle to help stop the run. Because until these teams prove they can stop the run, everyone is going to do what the Cardinals did, the 49ers did, the Bills did, and what the Packers did.
Exactly.
Now, you also said about bringing another receiver. Opposite the last. Now, I love Brandon Cooks. I really pray to God that they bring him back. But there is a guy that I believe could be available because there's been talk about the Indianapolis Colts maybe trying to trade for him. So the Cowboys maybe the Cowboys should try to beat him to the punch. So maybe Jerry and Steven and Will McClay and Mike McCarthy put your fears and trepidations aside. Go out there, make the deal with the devil, and sign A.J. Brown. I believe his time in Philly is over. Because when they were getting their butt kicked in Tampa, he was spotted in Atlantic City at the blackjack table. So, and with all of the stuff that's going on with him, can you imagine A.J. Brown in his offense alongside CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks? But is he a head case? Yes. Could he be a problem with your locker room? Yes. Is he a malcontent? Yes. But as you said, they've got to go for it. Time is running up. You're right. It worked with the Rams and it worked with the Bucs. But I think they are so afraid of messing up the cap because you know the term cap ball. You probably heard it on other shows. You probably heard it. And ever since the Brandon Carr deal, where they gave him $50 million, they have been gun shy of going out making that first day, being major players in that first or second day of free agency. But they're gonna have to do it. Well, it will make that better. Just like you say, just stack the deck. Just make this football team as I think one of the analysis on ESPN said, let's make it an unstoppable killing machine. Go get everyone you can, do whatever you have to do to get them under the cap. And this year it's all or nothing. So
I agree.
And I believe they can do it. I believe but it takes the will. Remember, Jerry used to have that in him, have that wildcat in him.
Yeah.
Where he had that wildcat when he signed Deion Sanders. When he went out and he got Charles Haley, he went and got Greg Hardy. He went and got all these other guys. So he said that wildcat is still in him. Well, and he says that I will do whatever I will do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl. So they got to do it. There has to be a change. They have to take philosophy. It just has to be. But a dominant running game will help that. So I don't want to see him throwing the ball. How many times you throw the ball against Green Bay? 70 times? I don't think anyone wants to see him throw the football 70 times.
No.
Not even me. I'm one of Dak's biggest supporters. I don't want to see him throwing the football that much.
Yeah. You gotta do that, but you have to do philosophy change. That will all be solved by getting a running back that defenses have to respect. It would take care of just about everything. It would change the way your offensive linemen play because you'd be calling plays to have them guys going forward, blocking, run blocking. It would help Dak out in the play action game. Can you imagine Derrick Henry back there or Josh Jacobs back there and a fake to them? That will open everything up for the passing game. It will. You do that. You also then go to your wide receivers. Derrick Henry will open it up for your wide receivers because if you got 8 man in the box, sometimes even 9, well, that means you're going one-on-one with these wide receivers. Can you imagine CD getting one-on-one all the time? Can you imagine, since you said Brandon Cooks, if Brandon Cooks is still there, can you imagine a Brandon Cooks getting one-on-one? Jake Ferguson getting one-on-one? So a running back, to me, would solve all of these problems. I'm talking about somebody that defensive coordinators had to spend 2 days the game plan for. That's what I'm talking about. And a Derrick Henry, a Josh Jacobs, even a Saquon Barkley. Pick your choice. But one of those 3 guys need to be in Dallas. I ain't talking about no Blake Corn from Michigan, even though I love him. I love Blake Corn. But but I don't want no college running back. I'm talking about this how I started. I don't want that. I want a guy back there that everybody know, now you done added this guy to this team. Oh, this offense is really fit to go crazy. Now, that's what I want. All right, will I get it?
Yes.
I don't know. But if you want to go from, like, remember what the title is, from good to great. If you want to go from good to great, this is what you got to do. And it's about that time because you worked your way and it only got you so far. Okay. You had about a good 6-7 year trial. It didn't get you nothing. You got to try it. Other teams are passing you by. Other teams have added and they're passing you by. It's just that simple. And you got to try something different. You got to try something. So that's what I feel about it.
I totally agree. I mean, they have to. If not, they might as well just blow. If they're not going to, just do whatever it takes to win at all costs, then just blow it up.
Yeah.
They blow it up and start over. Be bad for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But this team can still do it. The changes need to be made, but this team is still in a position to do it. I don't think the window is closed. It may be halfway closed, but it's not all the way shut. They still have a chance. They're still one of the best teams in the NFC by far.
No question. I agree 1,000% with that. But I believe they can even be better. And it necessarily ain't got to be in the record. You give me a running back. I promise you. Give me one of those running backs. The whole thing changes right then and there. I promise that. I appreciate you, Mike.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, man. All right, I'm going to close it up right there. And we'll talk to you guys on Monday. We'll get into some evaluations. Position-wise, starting next week. We'll go from the front office all the way up to the kicker. So that's going to give me about 12, 13 shows. Be prepared for when I go on the network on the 29th on the NGBN TV network. I'm not just going to talk just Cowboys. I'll be going and talking a lot of different sports. Basketball, football, of course, still be doing that. We'll be talking about some sports issues. We also talk, I talk golf, like I told y'all. I love golf. So, I mean, it ain't no telling what I'm going to do, but it just won't be Cowboys. I can promise you that. Trying to broaden the view a little bit and take it from there. I know most of y'all see me. I know y'all know me for the Cowboys, and I love that, but I'm going to have to stretch out a little bit now, all right? I appreciate y'all today. We're going to go ahead and close up shop. Again, if you haven't downloaded NGBN.TV, you can do that on your smart TVs. You can do that on your computer. You can do that on your cell phone as well. The show hasn't launched. There are shows that are there. Just in case I didn't give a real brief rundown of what it is. This station is about saving men's lives, number one. It's about giving inspiration. You'd be surprised how many people have died because of suicide between the ages of 40 and 60. That's what the vision and mission of this station is. And we're just trying to make a difference in their lives. We can give them just a little entertainment. Maybe our show can save a life or hold up before they give up. So I like being part of stuff like that. We're going to see how it rolls, and hope you guys will join in with me for that. All right. It's time to go. All right. Okay, I like that, Shane. Religion and sports. That's my field. I can go both ways. I don't know what angle you coming with, Shane, on that, but I like it already. I might do that. All right. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. As always, let's get these hand clap emojis together. I didn't do it during the show, but I need everybody to do it now. Hit that like button for me. Give me about 12, 13 likes a piece. Also, if you're on YouTube, hit that heart button for me, if you don't mind. Hit that heart button for me. Do that for me, and we'll take it from there. All right. Let's see, Marlon, one of my best friends on here. Yeah. Appreciate you, Joe. Put them hand clap emojis in there, y'all. Y'all know how we fit the groove out of here. You know what's about to happen. Come on, everybody, put that hand clap emoji in there. We're getting ready to get out. Getting ready to. Cowboys ain't gave us nothing to clap about, so we might well make ourselves happy. Oh boy. Appreciate you, Mr. King. Thanks for subscribing. If you already have. Freight Train, appreciate you, brother. It's Ty, I see you. All right, we out of here. All right, that's enough. That's all I need. That means we can go on, crank it up. Ladies and gentlemen, until Monday at 7 p.m., we'll holler at you. This has been the one and only, the Big Time Show. Mr. Robert King, see how you like this as you go out. I'm out.